Matt Olson, the very distinguished and effective former director of the National Counterterrorism Center, was so disturbed by what he has seen coming from the Trump campaign that he wrote an article that I guess came online in the last 48 hours, pulling from public sources very clear statements by ISIS leaders, essentially throwing whatever support they have to Donald Trump. They have, as Matt Olson pointed out, said they hope that Allah delivers America to Trump.
U.S. Special Forces in Syria taking down the ruthless leader of ISIS. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi founded the Islamic State and launched a global campaign of jihad. He was responsible for gruesome executions, including beheadings. The operation took place in the dead of night in Syria and was monitored, as you can see here, in the White House Situation Room, the president right there.
They have said that they hope that he is the president because it would give even more motivation to every jihadi.
You remember when Donald Trump was elected, you had ISIS controlling the size of territory bigger than the state of Indiana. Now the caliphate is wiped out, the leader of ISIS dead, the second in command dead. Heck, the leadership of ISIS is becoming about the only job more politically dangerous than being governor of Illinois. And so now you've got, I think, a real record for the president in killing the terrorists that were causing so much harm to the globe, and we're a better planet for it.
We've never seen anything like this. And one thing you didn't hear from him was any plan to take on ISIS, one of the biggest threats facing our country. He says his plan is still a secret. Well, the truth is he doesn't have a plan.
The caliphate has crumbled and ISIS has been defeated.
I don't think pretending you have some sort of secret plan is a very smart way to go forward in leading the world, which is what we must do.
He figured out how to defeat ISIS. He knows exactly how to do it. But he won't tell us because we haven't asked him nicely enough.
This is so simple, so surgical. It would be an unbelievable thing. Now, you know, I've been around saying this. You would think somebody from the administration at least would call me and say, hey, could you tell us what it is? It happens to be a great idea. But at the right time, I guess I'll give it.
All right.
I hate to give it in one way because, you know, if I ran and won, I'd hate like hell to have this idea. Because once you give it, it really ceases to be.
No,
you lose the surprise.
I get that completely. I do.
Keep thinking of General Patton and General MacArthur. They spin in their grave when they watch these people that just don't know what they're doing. We have leadership. They're all a bunch of clowns.
Okay, I'm just going to say it. I think he's special needs. I do. I don't know exactly what it is, but he's special needs of some sort.
This morning, Hillary Clinton on the defensive after going on the offensive against Donald Trump.
He is becoming ISIS's best recruiter. They are going to people showing videos of Donald Trump insulting Islam and Muslims in order to recruit more radical jihadists.
That claim made during Saturday's debate, but there's no evidence to back it up. Clinton's campaign unable to prove such a video exists.
John, Hillary Clinton is taking some heat for that statement, but she comes out of the debate in a pretty strong position.
She sure does. She has a huge lead nationally.
His idea that he, quote, has a secret plan to get rid of ISIS that he's not going to tell anybody, I found it disturbing.
Look at her website. You know what? It's no different than this. She's telling us how to fight ISIS. Just go to her website. She tells you how to fight ISIS on her website. I don't think General Douglas MacArthur would like that too much.
The next segment, we're continuing the subject of...
Well, at least I have a plan to fight ISIS.
No, you're telling the enemy everything you want to do.
No, we're not.
See, you're telling the enemy everything you want to do. No wonder you've been fighting. No wonder you've been fighting ISIS your entire adult life.
Well, go to the fact checkers. Get to work.
When we came into office, ISIS was running rampant all over Iraq and Syria, and we knocked out the 100% of the ISIS caliphate. But the Obama administration did a very, very poor job. They were running rampant all over, and we came in and we did a real job, and we got rid of that, and that was a good thing. And
This is not how a leader thinks. This is not how an intelligent person thinks. This is not how any normal human being thinks. I'm sorry, but I am going to be the asshole and declare now. I think Donald Trump is special needs.
We defeated ISIS. When I took over 3 years ago, when I took over, ISIS was all over. I defeated ISIS.
Victory flags are being raised after the Prime Minister announced the final defeat of ISIS. The extremists have been driven from the last pocket of territory they still held, a stretch of ground along the Syrian border. The extremists have been driven from the last pocket of territory they still held, a stretch of ground along the Syrian border.
The terror group ISIS said in new audio released Tuesday, and according to various translations, called President Donald Trump an Arabic term that means idiot, and said he doesn't know anything about Islam.
Well, they may now have actually defeated ISIS territorially. They've managed to take back all the territory the militants once controlled.
I said don't go into Iraq. I was right. I said now we got to go and we got to knock the shit out of these people. We got to do it. We've got to do it.
The ISIS statement calls the United States bankrupt and says the sign of your elimination are now clearer to everyone, as the most clear of signs is that you are now ruled by a stupid idiot who does not know what Sham and Iraq are or what Islam is, who continues to express his hatred and war against. Trump has pledged to totally obliterate ISIS.
That this is a time to put country over party. I would be saying that even if I were not running against him.
And you know, the haters, they said they're never going to be able to do this. They're going to have to fight there for generations and generations. And he bombed the hell out of them.
But this latest information coming from a distinguished counterterrorism expert should put every American's mind in motion to try to figure out what everyone can do to prevent Trump from being the president.
Nowadays, we barely hear about ISIS. Why is that? Because President Trump went Rambo on them, and now ISIS is destroyed.